Welcome in and good morning, everyone. I have said many times that my state of affairs and my feelings of the Philadelphia Eagles right now as it pertains to them is despondent. I took a break from despondency last night, and I'd like to apologize on behalf of the Philadelphia Eagles to you, the Philadelphia Eagles fan, for this team really not taking this season seriously at all. And I know that might come off as who do you to speak for them? Well, here's who I am. I'm someone who gives a damn, whether, the apathetic, definitely not me. It never really describes the Philadelphia fan base. But here is the most egregious thing from this season. And it's not the fact that Carson wasn't benched. It's not the fact that there was a lot of talk, a lot of jive about Jalen Hurts going out there and actually getting significant reps in this game. And it's not even gamers to execute whatever game plan he's trying to have them execute throughout a game. It's not even that Howie Roseman can't draft worth a damn. It's not that DK Metcalf torched him last night. It's not that Jim Schwartz decided to, put a quarter in the Megatron, future Megatron machine. I want to apologize to you, the Philadelphia Eagles fans, for the dreck that the Eagles put out there last night, and really all this season, for the most offensive thing that they have done this year. And you know what that is? You know what the most offensive thing the Eagles have done this year? You know what it is?
What's that?
The inability to make any adjustment whatsoever. That's the most offensive thing from this season. It's not the fact that there's been mistakes, there's been poor quarterback play, awful coaching, defense has been spotty, although last night they came to show up. They showed up last night. The most offensive thing is that they have continued to see every single game and have done nothing to adjust. Hey, Doug, you going to strip yourself of the play calling? You going to give that to somebody else? No, that's not my problem. That's not my fault. Carson, you going to sit him aside for a minute there and let somebody else actually run the offense as opposed to a play sitter? Okay, well, how about you help your quarterback in another way? Maybe you roll him out of the pocket a little bit more. Well, we designed those plays and then they take them away. So nothing is the adjustment you're going to make in the midst of a season that is god-awful. It is painful to actually watch this team try to play football. Painful. And, everything's status quo. Everything's fine. We're not going to make any changes. We're not going to make any major adjustments. Do you think today they'll actually make a major adjustment? Now that they're officially not in first place? I mean, they weren't going in last night. They had an opportunity to grab it back, and that's not what happened. And now what, are you going to change your play call and give that to somebody else going into Lambeau? This team is, I hate to use it, but it's the rudderless ship. There's no leader. There's no captaincy. There's no coach that's willing to take the bull by the horns and challenge anybody. And I'll say this. You know what? Here's one thing about a challenge. Going into last night's game, and you watch that first series that the Eagles had, the 1st and 5, okay? 1st and 5, they draw them off sides. Hey, they got them off sides. Look, a positive. That's cool. 1st and 5. They didn't run the ball once. Carson had maybe one or maybe two drops on that, overthrew Greg Ward right across the middle in a slant, so he missed that one. But 2 drop play. He looked like he was running upfield like it was going to be a block or something.
I don't know what he was doing.
He wasn't expecting the ball, but bottom line is he dropped it. It was like from that point on, Doug Peterson was taking all the blame, all the challenge off of himself, and he was putting it on Carson Wentz. This was not a game that Doug Peterson designed to win this game as the Philadelphia Eagles. This was a game that it seemed like Doug Peterson this game. Carson, we're going to throw the ball 3 straight times on a 1st and 5. Carson, we're only going to run the ball with our number 1 back 6 times in the game. Carson,
and he's barely in the game.
Carson, we're going to throw the ball in the 3rd and short. And it's on you, buddy. Hey, we're going to go for it on 4th down in the red zone at the end of the game where we had a chance to pull within at least a score. It would have been a 2-point conversion, but still would have been a score.
Isn't that Doug's specialty, 2-point conversions?
That's Doug's specialty. This was a game that Doug Peterson just pushed everything off his table onto Carson Wentz and said, well, guess what, big kid? Yeah, go win this for me there, Haas. And, Carson wasn't good enough last night. The game plan was garbage, and Doug Peterson forgot about running the football. Something has to change, and the fact that nothing has changed to this point is the biggest offense to the Philadelphia Eagle fan base.
If the stories about Doug Peterson wanting to be out of here, wanting to get away from what the future may hold of this team is true or are true, then he did a hell of a job last night.
Oof.
Because he did his best. You're 1st and 5 to begin the game. 1st and defense against the pass, and you go pass. with a quarterback that's struggling, who on second down tries to sidearm something that didn't even need to be sidearmed. I don't know what was going on there. To receivers, I'm sorry, Alshon Jeffrey didn't look like he wanted. You see it coming. Little effort, maybe? He didn't look like he wanted to play. That was one of the things that I got out of the Eagles' offense last night also. There were some guys, that was an interference on Reagor that one time. That was pass interference, no question. But you know what? If I'm a referee and I'm playing and I'm watching a bad team, and I'm watching a team that doesn't play hard, and I'm watching a team that is stupid beyond stupid, I'm not grabbing my flag either. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? The better team's going to win. Let's get the hell out of here. I swear to God, I know you're supposed to be impartial, but like the Eagles give you no reason to give effort at all. If you're an official, if you're the other team. I didn't even recognize that Seattle team last night. I swear, they played as half-assed a game as you could play. They came in here to say, yeah, whatever. We'll just go through the motions and we'll win. And that's exactly what they did. I did not recognize that offense at all except for DK Metcalf. But close. You start the second half of a 0-0 game, and you have Corey Clement in the backfield?
Yeah, they do.
You had multiple times where you needed yardage, where you had Boston Scott and or Corey Clement. Okay, Miles Sanders is not catching the ball well.
Like, he literally had it in his arms. Not his hands and arms had it, and then let it pop out.
That's something that you have to address among 1,000 other things. But who's still your most explosive player on offense? It's got to be him. And you don't have him on the field? In a close game, you just don't have him on the field.
Six runs.
What the hell is rotation of running backs is unbelievable to me. You started the second half without Miles Sanders on the... Really? I think you went... When I counted up, I think it was 10 plays. 7 of the plays to start the second half, I don't think you had Miles Sanders on the field.
6 runs the entire game!
Yeah.
God, this is fireable! Fireable! I said, Jeffrey Lurie must be a patient guy because I'm not. I'm immature. I'm impatient. Heads would have rolled after the game. I wouldn't have waited for a night's sleep. Yeah. I said it earlier in the season when you had the overtime game against Cincinnati and Miles Sanders didn't have 20 overtime that you played.
Yeah.
Full overtime. And by the way, that's the only game this season where Carson Wentz has attempted more passes, is in that 5-period game, essentially, against the Seattle Bengals. Or the Cincinnati Bengals. Last night he had 45 pass attempts. And last night, Miles Sanders, 6 carries in the game. You just pushed everything off your table. And you challenged your quarterback. And he failed. Don't get me wrong, he failed. Doug didn't do anything to help him, but still your quarterback failed.
Yeah.
And still no change. And this was the game that was hyped up to be the big change. This was the game that was hyped up to be, Carson better get it done this time. Otherwise, Jalen Hurts is going in.
Well, change.
Same exact thing.
Change should come. I'd
love to see that happen.
I don't think there's any way last night. I mean, ESPN did a great job.
They were awesome. Great
Greasy.
They listened to us yesterday morning. I'm convinced of it. I swear to God.
Yeah, Greasy and Riddick did a really nice job. Levy's a pro. But stupid binoculars. Dude, you can't give that team or organization any sort of confidence right now. Like, I thought they did a great job last night. To hear Brian Greasy say Doug needs to work with Carson on his trajectory of passes. What?
This is Carson Wentz, a fifth-year starter, right?
A max money quarterback.
Max money quarterback, franchise guy, second overall pick. Spend talking about helping him?
Yeah.
Like, when is he going to be the guy that's actually going to take this team to the next level?
Yeah,
when's he the guy that's going to cover all the other mistakes?
Another underthrown ball. And, people were like, why does it always have to be a perfect play? I'm like, do you know how hard it is to jump in the air and reach 3 feet backward when you're running full speed? It's damn near impossible. He can't make playbook, keep everything 7 yards and in, and see if you can just chip away at teams.
That doesn't work either.
I know. But try something.
That deep Goddard one, my God, did he take a shot to the gut?
And
he saw it coming.
I don't want to hear it.
He steps into
it.
Honestly,
he didn't step into it.
No,
right.
I don't want to hear it lie.
Yeah, he could have let it go earlier also, yes.
The play had developed downfield. Notice Goddard wasn't at the hash. He was down the sideline even further. That ball was let go by Carson Wentz way late. Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times last night did they back? He's about to get hit, and receivers aren't even turned around. Where he's going down, and you see receivers like doing the pat, 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 pat. All right, let me turn around. Oh, he's already down? Mm-hmm. Like, that's coaching. You know that your offensive line blows. You can't have 4 receivers running 15-yard turnarounds or 15-yard outs or 15-yard curls without having an eye on the quarterback who you know has 2 seconds to get rid of the ball. I am not defending Carson Wentz. I'm borderline whether you should bench him for the rest of the season because his head is so bad right now. I don't know if you can get him back with play this season. Maybe it's just like, look, we suck. You got to take the year away.
I almost want Carson just to call his own plays. If you're not going to bench him, just
whatever.
You know what? Strip the play calling of Doug Peterson and just let Carson call the plays.
Is it something different than they're doing now? Okay, sure. I'll try it.
Oh, you mean like going and I'm sorry, and he rolled out the one time and it worked?
Yeah, that
Like
happened.
what the hell? What is going on here? I mean, what is Doug Peterson seeing out there? He rolls out once. It works perfectly. You don't roll him out. You roll him out twice in 2 games. After you said before, yeah, he's a much better quarterback when we roll him out. What the hell are you doing?
They took it away, Bob. They took it away.
Sorry. I never have seen a coach before say, oh, well, Fulgham, yeah, but now they've scouted him, so that's... Everything is, the other team took it away. Yeah, because that's their damn job. Your job is to figure out how to not let them take it away. But you can't do it. He is so overwhelmed, Doug Peterson is. He really needs to get out. Like, this is it. I couldn't believe what I was watching last night. Not going for the field goal that you mentioned, Mark. Unbelievable. And
actually, I had no problem with the field goal. Or not going for the field goal, though. You're going up against me, MVP Russell Wilson?
I kind of had no problem with it either.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
acknowledge we're in the minority.
There's 9.5 minutes to go in the game.
No,
are you playing to win?
No, that was a white flag from Doug. He didn't have any confidence that they could get down in the red zone again.
Again, pushing everything out on your quarterback. Hey, man, this is going to be on you.
Yeah.
So, look, if they're going to make a decision to bench him and go with Jalen Hurts, okay, hey, rookie, good luck to you in Green Bay. So that'll be fun. That's a good team over there, so good luck.
I'm convinced that's what he wants to do.
Am I wrong that looking at that game last night, it was as if Doug just said,
it's on him, not me.
That's pretty much what it was. And by the way, as far as Fulgham goes, and you brought that up, Fulgham had 52% of the snaps last night. Alshon Jeffrey had 49. How is that a thing?
That was my deep dark fear like 3 weeks ago. Remember, we were all like, "No, they can't be." Well, they're that dumb.
No, God, they're dumb.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they're really dumb. Like it's bad. And listening to Doug try to explain this, that deep inhale is that deep breath that he usually, and it's hi Doug. Why did that play not happen? And Doug goes, all right. I feel like that inhale means he is thinking to himself, it's because we suck, duh.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And I can't coach any better than this. Screenplay out of a timeout that they had to burn because
my
the play
God.
clock was the play clock's running out of that. And Jalen Reagor, who I am pissed off at for so many other reasons, and Jalen Reagor, instead of staying back play, looks like he just ran to the corner of the end zone. With nobody, like he has his blocker. He was running with his blockers, and I guess no alarm went off. Carson looked his way. Nobody was there. If it was to Boston Scott, who looked like he was in pass protection there, if that was to him, then he released late. But it looked like Jalen Reagor, and Doug even alluded to it after the game. Jalen Reagor, they set up a screen for him, and he ended up running down the field. What are you supposed to do with that? That comes down to coaching. When you want to talk about play design,
it's horrible.
You talk about, I think, a 3rd and 8 play in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 8 play. One receiver of 4 potential runs past the line of scrimmage. One runs past the first down marker. One. That's play design. And he goes to Travis Fulgham on that. And then on the 4th down where they tried to convert, they go to the Fulgham and they knock it down.
My favorite play was the 3rd and 30 where they got -1 yards and they had planned to go for it on 4th down. So, there was a litany of embarrassment last night.
If Carson Wentz isn't benched going forward, at least that would be an adjustment. And no, this is well last night either. But looking at Doug Peterson and going with that game plan last night, if you don't bench Carson Wentz after that, it's just another indictment that they have no clue what the hell they're doing. Absolutely no clue. Doug can't coach. He can't design a decent game plan. And Carson Wentz was left out to dry last night. And yes, he did not play well. Not excusing anything. But if that was put on his plate and he couldn't handle it, well, then it is time to move on. Because you can't ask your quarterback to throw the football 45 times, 3rd and short, and then leave it up to your quarterback to win it or lose it for you, and then say, oh, no, he's fine. We're still going to go with him in the next game.
You couldn't get guys open against the worst pass defense in the league. You couldn't get a quarterback that could make plays against the worst pass defense in the league. Threw out Carson Wentz and said, here, you either sink or swim. Hands off from me.
Swim, exactly.
How about one time that Hertz goes in the game, one of those in and out things. Eagles have to punt. They come to the sideline. There's Jalen Hurts talking to Kelsey. And the offensive line is sitting right there.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Kelsey, they're explaining something. Yeah, I want to do this. You can tell here comes Doug Peterson walking over. Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, iPad, press Taylor. Have we ever seen Carson Wentz go over to the offensive line with Doug Peterson and all of them sit there and discuss what's going on?
No, God, no.
No.
And there was one point last night, there was a timeout. I think it was, they were shuffling in Hurts and Wentz, and they didn't know what to do. They had to call a timeout, and I think the announcer said, well, it looks like there's something wrong with Carson Wentz's helmet. No, I think he just took it off out of disgust, but whatever. And they're standing there talking, and you see Carson looking and spitting, and just the look on his face is like, you're horrible, dude. I swear to God, there is something between Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson that they either professionally, personally, or both, they do not like each other. They don't like the way he plays. He doesn't like the way he coaches, whatever it may be. But there is definitely some kind of discord there.
Well, I'll say this. In the post-game pressers, Carson at least is hiding it well. Because every single time he's like, I thought Doug had a great game plan, and we just got to execute.
Yeah, he's a pro behind that, Mike.
And I'll say that. I see what you did there. And then also the Dallas Goedert play, where Goddard turned in, and it looked like Carson was expecting to float out a little bit and fade.
How is that possible after playing together for 3 years?
How is it possible when they ran the same play in the previous quarter?
The defender had inside leverage. That's on Dallas Goedert. I'm not blaming Wentz on that one. He's got to know. He's done that several times this year. There's something missing with him and Dallas Goedert. They seem to miscommunicate an awful lot.
He fooled the quarterback, as our friend Dan Orlovsky alluded to last year with us in a couple of different games, including the I think it was the Lions game. Like a hitch, and I think Carson was expecting him to fade out a little bit towards the end.
And it went for a first down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Carson's not good. I know we're talking a lot about Doug.
Oh, yeah.
But Carson is not.
He left a lot of plays on the field last night.
Exactly.
And Brian Greasy was pointing them out left and right.
Is Greasy up for a head coaching job? And
I think Riddick was interviewing for the GM job, and Greasy maybe an OC or head coach.
Dan Levy. Dan Levy, yeah.
Steve
Levy. Is he going to be the new PR rep? Like, what's the deal?
He wants to be the.
It's so much fun to listen to an outside group come into Philly, and all the study we do, we know. But for them on the air to be like, oh, my God, this is horrible.
Well, it kind of, not that we need validation by any means.
No, we don't, but
it's this feeling of, oh, cool, I'm not crazy.
Right, exactly, yeah.
The other part of it is they get the one-on-ones with the coach and the players. They get all those like cute interviews where they get the good stuff.
Oh, you mean the one where Doug definitely spilled the beans to all the problems to Louis Riddick this week? Because that was 100% clear.
And for them to come out of those interviews, come out on the other side with, damn, this team's got some problems. And all year we've been like, damn, this team's got some problems. Then it kind of at least makes you feel like you're not losing your damn mind. It makes you feel like, yeah, you know what, this team's got some problems. It's not even you exaggerating it as the team that you love and you follow and you root for and all that. It's the fact that, no, they just, matter of fact, they have a lot of problems. And it's not one thing that'll change it. But at least give me one thing that's different. Give me one change. Give me one adjustment. Instead of acknowledging that there's been a struggle and a regression, and by the way, the man that highlighted that whole regression earlier in the season, in week 4, going into week 4, Zach Berman, he'll join the show at 9:30 today, and he breaks it down for us, looking at it saying Doug Peterson is the type of guy that when I asked him about whether or not there's been a regression in Carson Wentz, that's improvement from Carson. No, we haven't. Better as the year has gone on in terms of the young wide receivers. No, we haven't. And Travis Fulgham all of a sudden being phased out of the game plan because you got to get Alshon Jeffrey reps. That's just an staff is. Now, when we come back, there was one thing that happened late last night. Now, we got plenty of meat on the bone when it comes to talking about this football game in general. But there's one particular I read, last thing I listened to before I closed my eyes last night, or early this morning, right? After the game, like 1:30 a.m. The one thing I looked at and the last thing I saw in this game had something to do with the guy that beat the brakes off him last night. We'll get to that in a second. 610-632-0975. Again, Eagles fans, I apologize on behalf of your football team, because for them not to make one single adjustment, for them to not try to do something better at all throughout this entire season is an insult to you, the fan base.
Mark Farzetta with Bob Cooney and Jamie Lynch. Mornings on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.